The rules of completing conditional sentences. শর্তমূলক বাক্য সম্পূর্ণকরণের নিয়মাবলী. If you come late, you will miss the bus. যদি তুমি দেরিতে আসো তাহলে বাসটি ধরতে পারবে না. If we fail, we shall try again. যদি আমরা ব্যর্থ হই তাহলে আবার চেষ্টা করব. উপরের বাক্য দুটিতে শর্ত সাপেক্ষে কাজগুলো ঘটার সম্ভাবনা দেখা দিয়েছে, অর্থাৎ একটি শর্ত পূরণ হলে আরেকটি কাজ সংঘটিত হবে. এ কারণেই উপরের বাক্য দুটি কন্ডিশনাল সেন্টেন্স. যে বাক্যে কোনো শর্ত আরোপিত হয় এবং শর্ত সাপেক্ষে কাজ সংঘটিত হয়ে থাকে তাকে কন্ডিশনাল সেন্টেন্স বলে. কন্ডিশনাল সেন্টেন্সে দুটি অংশ থাকে. ইফযুক্ত সাবঅর্ডিনেট ক্লজটিতে শর্ত আরোপিত হয়, বাকি ক্লজটিতে প্রধান বাক্যাংশ বা প্রিন্সিপাল ক্লজটিতে কাজটি সম্পাদিত হয়. ইফযুক্ত বাক্যাংশকে ওপেন কন্ডিশনাল সেন্টেন্স বলে. ক্লাসিফিকেশন অফ কন্ডিশনাল সেন্টেন্স. Number 1, zero conditional sentence. Number 2, first or probable conditional sentence. Number 3, second or improbable conditional sentence. Number 4, third oblique impossible conditional sentence. First, structure. If clause present simple V1 plus main clause V1. If you run fast, you get tired soon. যদি তুমি দ্রুত দৌড়াও তাহলে তুমি শীঘ্রই ক্লান্ত হবে. Type 2, probable conditional sentence. If you run fast, present indefinite tense. পরবর্তী অংশে কর্তার পরে শ্যাল, উইল, ক্যান, মে বসিয়ে ভার্বের প্রেজেন্ট ফর্ম বসাতে হবে. Type 3, improbable conditional sentence. If you ran fast. যদি প্রথম অংশে পাস্ট ইনডিফিনাইট টেন্স থাকে তাহলে পরবর্তী অংশে সাবজেক্টের পরে শুড অবলিক উড অবলিক কুড অবলিক মাইট প্লাস V1 বসাতে হবে. টাইপ 4, আনফুলফিল্ড কন্ডিশনাল সেন্টেন্স. অর্থাৎ প্রথম অংশে যদি পাস্ট পারফেক্ট টেন্স থাকে তাহলে পরবর্তী অংশে শুড অবলিক কুড অবলিক কুড অবলিক মাইট বসিয়ে হ্যাভ বসাতে হবে, তারপর V3 বসাতে হবে. ইফ ইউ হ্যাড রান ফাস্ট পরবর্তী অংশে তাহলে শুড উড কুড মাইট প্লাস হ্যাভ প্লাস V3 বসাতে হবে. ইফ ক্লজ ইন প্রেজেন্ট টেন্স, the main clause in the future simple. যদি ইফ ক্লজে প্রেজেন্ট টেন্স থাকে তাহলে পরবর্তী অংশে ফিউচার ইনডিফিনাইট টেন্স হবে. আগেও বলেছি, এবার আরও উদাহরণ দিচ্ছি আমি. ইফ ইউ কাম, আই শ্যাল ব্রিং দ্য বুক. প্রেজেন্ট ইনডিফিনাইট, তারপরে ফিউচার ইনডিফিনাইট. ইফ ইট রেন্স, উই শ্যাল স্টে অ্যাট হোম. ডোন্ট সে দ্যাট unless you will do it. Variations. The main clause with a modal verb may, might, must, should. If you want to pass, you must study harder. যদি তুমি পাস করতে চাও তোমাকে অবশ্যই কঠোর অধ্যয়ন করতে হবে. কন্ডিশন প্লাস রেজাল্ট 0 is equal to present simple plus present simple. If you walk out in the rain, you get wet. যদি তুমি বৃষ্টিতে বাইরে যাও তুমি ভিজে যাবে. স্ট্রাকচার এস প্লাস প্রেজেন্ট সিম্পল প্লাস এস প্লাস উইল অবলিকন্ট প্লাস রুট ভার্ব. If I exercise daily, I will become fit. Structure subject plus past simple plus subject plus would plus root verb. If I had more free time, I would travel more. structure, subject plus past perfect plus subject plus would have plus past participle. If I had worked harder, I would have gotten that promotion. Simple present, simple present. If it rains, the ground gets wet. যদি বৃষ্টি হয় তাহলে মাঠ ভিজে যাবে। If you heat ice cream, যদি তুমি বরফে তাপ দাও, it melts, এটা গলে যাবে। If the cloud thunders, it rains. I feel weather when I work out. If the wind blows, the trees move. You get wet if you stand in the rain. If you study grammar, it gets easier. If I get sick, I go to the doctor. If she calls me, I feel so happy. I get a stomach ache if I eat spicy food. If you freeze water, it turns to ice. If you heat metal, it expands. If you have problems, talk to your doctor. Baby wakes up if we make too much noise. If you press the button, the television turns on. If you press the power key, a green light appears. If he is available, ask him to call me. If you sweat too much, you dehydrate. If you don't get your key, you stress out. Simple present plus simple future. If you see her, we will tell her what the teacher said. If you go to the market, I will buy what you want. I may finish that later if I have time. If I have enough time, I will visit my father. If I pass the exam, I will organize a celebration party. My mother will be delighted if I pass the math exam. If you feel bad, you must go to the doctor. If you don't hurry, you will miss the train. If I am not busy tomorrow, I will help you. If he calls me, you should go. If you don't win a scholarship, your father will be very sad. If I have enough strawberries, I will bake a strawberry cake for you. If you don't brush your teeth regularly, your teeth decays. If you make a cake, you firstly break eggs. If you throw salt to the water, it boils later. If I were you, I would want to be a doctor. If I understood what the teacher said, I could tell you. If she had found his phone number, she might have called him for the party. If I could have spoken English very well, I would have talked to the tourists in Paris. If she had gone on a picnic, she would had a lot of fun. Conditional. If I won the lottery, I would buy a house. If I were a police, I would arrest all criminals. He could get a better job. if he spoke English. If you had friends, you wouldn't feel so lonely. What would you do if you won the lottery? If I were you, I would take up the job. What would you do if you were me? If I were you, I would never buy this car. What would you do if you weren't sick? I would tell you if I didn't want to go. If I had the money, I would lend it to you. If I had her contact number, I would call her. If you invited her, she would definitely come. If I were John, I would not say those things. I would be happy if I had more free time. If I had enough money, I would buy a big house. John could win the race if he practiced hard. You wouldn't be so tired if you went to bed earlier. If you took medicines, you would be cured. If you could travel to any country, where would you go? Second conditional type 2 is used to think of the opposite of an event that is happening in the present or in the future. To put forward a condition and to express the result of this imaginary condition. Therefore, the tense we that can use must be a bit more past than the tense that will use to express the truth. Example sentence. If she knew the answer, she would win the prize, but she doesn't know the answer. If he had enough experience for the job, the boss could hire him, but he doesn't. If I had your phone number, I would call you, but I don't have your phone number. If you came to the party, we would have a lot of fun, but you don't come to the party. If I were a rich man, I would buy a home-like palace, but I am poor. Third conditional in type 3. It is used to reverse the events that occurred in the past. To put forward a condition and to express the result of that condition. It is usually used for sentences and express complaints. Example sentences. If he had talked to me, I would have listened to him, but he didn't talk to me. If it had rained last weekend, we would have stayed at home, but it didn't rain last weekend. If she had saved enough money, she would have bought a new bicycle, but she didn't save enough money. If it had been a huge explosion, so many people couldn't have been affected. But it is huge explosion, so many people affected. If the student and listened to the teacher carefully, he would have answered the questions easily, but he didn't. Thank you very much.